Hey everybody, welcome to the JLash Show. My name is Lasher, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 32 of the JLash Show. So just to forewarn you, I will not be able to post any clips of baseball or March Madness anymore because, as you saw, if you have me friended on Snapchat, I got my video got blocked. So I can't do that because I don't want my YouTube channel to get like demonetized or anything like that. I just want to keep it neutral. I don't want to like complain. So you won't be seeing really any videos unless they allow me to put it back up. So that's pretty much about it. So let's move on to the first day of baseball. That was a very good day for the Philadelphia Phillies. It proved a lot of good stuff about them. They won 3-5 against the Texas Rangers, and now they are 1-0 finally on the season. Christopher Sanchez had 10 strikeouts. He pitched 6 innings, and he only allowed 3 hits, which is absolutely amazing for him. I think he left off where he left off last season, and I think he did very excellent because I think he had around like 2.40 ERA. So I am not complaining. I am not complaining at all about Christopher Sanchez. Nathan Eovaldi took the loss for Texas. He only pitched 4.2 innings and had 7 strikeouts, but like still. He's not good. I mean, he's a better pitcher, but like any pitcher that really comes into Philly is like they just shut down, I feel like. And that's what kind of happened not during the playoffs, because as you saw, we got absolutely demolished during the playoffs that last season. But when we're a very good crowd, I think that we can distract the pitchers of the opposite team. And like really, I think that's what we accomplished yesterday. Yesterday. But really, I think the Philadelphia Phillies did a very good job on offense. Got good people on base. Trey Turner, I think, got on base. The new guy, Justin Crawford, was able to get on base. Wasn't able to get any runs though, but they left that up to Kyle Schwarber and Alec Boehm, who are they aren't the 2 best Phillies, while Kyle Schwarber is one of them. Alec Boehm is still kind of down in the ranks, but he's moving up pretty quickly, in my opinion. He's definitely going to prove himself this season. I can definitely see it. I feel like he would be feel like he would be one of the best Phillies this season. No doubt. He kind of has to prove himself, but if he can, I think he can be one of the best players on the team. But Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, all those players, all those veterans, I think that they will be the best. But Bryce Harper only shows up when it's clutch, so I can totally see that. But really, Schwarber, I think it was in the first inning, he went Apotaco, 383 feet, and him and Trey Turner scored to make it 2-0. And then the 5th inning, Alec Boehm hit a home run to the right field, 354 feet. Crawford, Turner, and him scored, which is absolutely amazing. And that's what you love to see with the newer guys on the team, getting on base, especially with Trey Turner, because Trey Turner, he was really good when he was on the Dodgers, and then I think he stalled or something, because like his batting average went down to 237, which was at that time very unlikely for him. So we had a standing ovation. That actually kind of fixed him up a little bit. And I'm like, hey, maybe this dude isn't even that bad at all. And he kind of proved himself. He definitely ramped it up. And I think he's a very good guy to have on the team, in my opinion. Jaron Duran, he was able to close out the game, thank goodness. So we are all good there. So I think our bullpen, was what we're struggling on the most, but I think that we will totally be fine. And about the New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates, we're talking about divisional rivals. The New York Mets are 1-0 after they won 7-11 against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but it's the Pittsburgh Pirates, I don't see them doing good at all this year. They have, especially with that absolute Paul Skeens meltdown. He didn't even pitch a full inning, and he pitched 0.2 of an inning and allowed 4 hits, had 5 earned runs, and 2 balls on bats with 1 strikeout. Like, how does that happen with a pitcher that won an award before and did very good? I don't know how that happens, honestly. And I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates, for them, they scored high, but if the New York Mets said, if you can do this, I can do this better than you, and they scored 11 runs. So, I mean, I can totally see how that happened, but like, jeez, like, it didn't have to happen in that kind of fashion. But really, Paul Skeens needs to get it together. Like, that probably tanked his ERA, if I have to say. But Freddie Peralta got the win for the Pittsburgh Pirate. He didn't. Sorry. Freddie Peralta on the New York Mets. He won, of course. I think he was on Milwaukee before, and he did very well on Milwaukee, but I think his time was up, or he got traded or got signed. He was in free agency probably. He pitched 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts with 0 balls on bat, which is absolutely amazing. But really, the Paul Skeens it's not a masterclass because he didn't do good, because he's a little he's bad. But really, you got 2 more games to go. Maybe the Pirates can probably take 2 out of 3, and then just call it a series with that, because that's absolutely what I would do, because like you cannot let that happen with Paul Skeens. Like, you should, like, if you're a batter and Skeens is thrown to you, you shouldn't even be touching the ball. Like, Paul Skeens he's a very good pitcher, but we've seen that, like, yesterday or the day before, he wasn't good. So, yeah. God, I don't know why I don't know why he melted down there. Maybe his mind wasn't right. I don't know, but he needs to get it up, because I like him. But the Washington Nationals won 10-4 against the Chicago Cubs, which is actually a shocking win to see, because the Washington Nationals, I don't think are not really able to make it really anywhere, and they are the team that I don't really see. But like, they could end like around 500 if they try hard enough. But really, I don't think they would be able to try. Like, I don't think they would have enough. But really, gosh, but it's all about, it's all about effort. Right? If you put in the effort, you're good. But really, for the Washington Nationals, like, jeez, I didn't expect them to win. I thought the Cubs were gonna win, especially at home. Like, that it doesn't really make sense to me, and I don't really see why they lost. But against a Washington Nationals team, like, they shouldn't have lost. And yeah, so the Nationals could have the potential to make it somewhere in our division, but I don't really see that happening. But really, what I really want to talk about, and they could spring out of nowhere, is the Atlanta Braves, because now they have Acuna back, Ronald Acuna Jr. back on their team, and that's a little bit of a that's not good for us. But as long as we keep them kind of down, then that's fine with me. But they won 6-0 against the Kansas City Royals, which the Royals could probably end around 500, if not maybe a little bit low. I just don't really see that. I just don't really see Kansas City making it anywhere. But I feel like Atlanta or New York would be the 2 greatest chances to win the NL East. The Phillies, I feel like they didn't really make a lot of moves in their big league section of the off season. Like, I didn't see that. I don't see that happening for them, unfortunately. Because the Atlanta Braves, they have Ozzy Albies, they have I think it's Brooks Baldwin, Michael Harris II. So, and they got really all the good guys. So, like, it sucks to see them. It sucks to see them good. I don't want them to be good, but we have really no choice but to see them good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this section of the JLash Show. Now moving on to the JLash Show weather report coming now. Hello and everybody, welcome to the JLash Show Weather Center. I'm your chief meteorologist, Lasher, and it looks like it is going to be a really cold day in the Hatboro region today with a high of 43 degrees with the wind, which the wind chill will be down, and probably the mid to high 30s or maybe low 40s if we are lucky. So if today you are training for the Broad Street Run for some time, I would say probably wait off until the evening, until the wind dies out, because it is going to be really cold if you are running that far in the wind, which I would not recommend because that would increase your risk of hypothermia, and you do not want hypothermia out while you are running. So if you are running, and I know the boys track team is somewhere today, I think it's the North Penn Open, you better have stuff on under what you are wearing, like under your uniform or whatever, like a long sleeve shirt, pants, and like a thin pair of running gloves so your hands don't freeze, because it is really cold. But there is some hope coming in the middle of the week. Tuesday looks like it's going to be a high of 76 degrees, with Wednesday following suit with a high of 73 degrees. Those days are both look like they're going to be drizzly and rainy, however, so I wouldn't really hope on really anything. So really, I mean, just dress warm. Like, it's not hard. Just throw on a jacket, sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, and pants. Like, that's really what you should be wearing outside today. And later in the week, it looks like there are some better chance of showers happening later in the week, especially Tuesday through it looks like Monday, which is actually brutal. We won't be seeing the sun much, unfortunately. So really, that's all I have to say for this JLash Show weather report, and I'm going to start early with our JLash Show Hurricane HQ. Obviously, nothing is happening right now. The ocean is not warm enough to produce any hurricanes as of right now. That will happen around June 1st is when the ocean will finally be warm enough to produce hurricanes. And hopefully we won't have any destructive hurricanes like we had last season with Hurricane Melissa, as it hit the Jamaica like really hard, which was very unfortunate. Hopefully they're recovering from that. But Hurricane Aaron stayed off the coast, so I really wouldn't call that destructive, but it flooded places and caused a lot of plain flooding along the East Coast, especially in New Jersey. So that's about it. Now back to the JLash Show. Welcome back from the JLash Show weather report. Now moving on to some March Madness, which it was kind of insane last night, if I have to say myself. There was almost an upset with St. John's and Duke. Duke barely pulled it off with an 80-75 score. If I have to say, it was definitely electric. Duke is one of the best out there. They have like the best basketball program. But really, I have to say that they have to try a little bit harder, because if they can't, then they ain't gonna make it to the finish line, which I think are in the Elite 8 now. So, and I think Arizona plays later, so a lot of people have them winning, which is amazing. Isaiah Evans led Duke with 25 points, which is good. Cam Bouger led the rebounds with 10 rebounds, and he led in assists with 3 assists. So he's also doing very well in college football, or not football. I'll get to that. College basketball. I do like college football though, so we'll talk about that when the time comes. Really, for college basketball for March Madness, it's insane. So they it's insane. St. John's had the largest lead of 10, which they should have kept that lead and upset Duke, because I really want to see Duke kind of be upset. That would be a very interesting upset to see how people would react. I will. That would be something else. But really, they got to just put more effort in. Let's move on to the next game with Alabama Crimson Tide and the Michigan Wolverines. Alabama was number 4. Michigan was number 1 seed. Alabama lost, which was unfortunate, by 13 points, 77-90. But they weren't really. I don't think they were really favored to win the entire thing, which was whatever. I don't really care. I didn't make a great bracket this year, I feel like, because I didn't have enough time to make a bracket, in my opinion. But really, if I do say so myself, it's impressive that Michigan won. They are the number 1 seed, so I don't really see them being upset. Michigan had the largest lead by 16, while Alabama had their largest lead at 9, which was not really great. But really, it's whatever. UConn and Michigan State, which was also a very close upset game. Michigan is a number 3 seed, and UConn was a number 2 seed. But really, it's whatever. UConn 32-5 record, with Michigan State at a 27-8 record. If I do say so myself, I could have definitely seen Michigan State upsetting UConn, but some people have UConn in their bracket, which is very unfortunate for them. It's good. But really, Michigan State looks like they almost had a comeback, because it looks like UConn had their largest lead at 19 points, but they were able to come back to within 4 and almost defeat them, which is very amazing, in my opinion, for a team to do that. And now let's take a look at the final game that I'm going to talk about, which is the Tennessee Volunteers, number 6 seed, against the 2 seed Iowa State Cyclones, which is also a pretty good upset, in my opinion. Tennessee Volunteers won 76-62 over the number 2 Iowa State Cyclones, which is a very good win for Tennessee. They now move on and could be the next Cinderella team. Well, I'm just kidding. I don't think that they'll be that good. But really, it's a very impressive win. They were able to hold Iowa State back, and they are a tough team to play against. But in my opinion, it was a good game for both. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Now let's move on with Philly Sports Shenanigans with JLash. Coming on now. Welcome to Philly Sports Shenanigans with JLash. I am your host for Philly Sports Shenanigans of JLash, Jackson Lasher. And Phillies fans were very behaved 2 days ago for the Phillies game, in my opinion. They weren't throwing stuff around, and they weren't like, rah, 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 our team's losing, because we weren't losing because our team is actually decent. But they just are like, blah, 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 blah. But I don't really care, because, we won. Yes, we won, finally. So, do we forgive Orion Kirkring or not? Because he threw it to home plate instead of throwing it to first base for the easy out. We could have got out of the inning. But I don't see me forgiving him, because he was kind of a jerk for that, and he kind of deserves to be sad for it. Well, I don't want anyone to be sad, but he kind of deserves to be sad for it, because that could have won us the game, really. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's over now. We got to forgive and forget and leave that in the past. Well, that's pretty much about it. Let's move on to JLash or Trash. Welcome to JLash or Trash. I'm your host of JLash or Trash, Jackson Lasher, which is a bunch of hot takes related to sports. So, will the Tennessee Volunteers win the entire thing? Well, no, because it's either they would run into Duke, they would run into Arizona, or they would run into UConn, in my opinion. So I don't see them winning the entire thing, unfortunately. Maybe next year, That's what we always say, but it's whatever. So yeah, are the Philadelphia Phillies going to win the NL East against the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets? Most likely not, because they are two both powerful teams. They have Freddie Peralta. The Mets do. They have a pretty good pitching lineup. So yeah, I don't see them winning against the Mets. And the Braves have Ronald Acuna back and all their good players back. So yeah, I don't really see them winning, unfortunately. And I'm going to the Flyers game. So yeah, I'll make sure to report back to you guys on that. So that's pretty much it for the JLash Show. And yeah, follow my social media page and all that. And any updates, you just check my website, thejlashtshow.com. And if you want to be a guest, do the form on the website. It's not that hard. Or if you have any questions, just email Jackson at thejlashtshow.com. And yeah, that's really about it. So have a good day, JLash Show Nation.